And here we go. We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, roll, Atlantic.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside FD off. Bring in FD off. Off. It's orange! 145!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
The methane would be igniting the flare, correct?
Yikes. You dead? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Hello and welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. This is a Falcon 9 rocket sitting at Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, getting ready to launch a whole bunch of cargo and science to the International Space Station on the CRS-32 mission. We're going to talk all about it. I'm Jack Beyer for NSF. I'll be hosting today's stream, and joining me will be Mr. Adrian Beil. Adrian, how are you doing this fine morning?
I'm rarely awake at 9 a.m. German time, so this is a new experience for me. Hello, everybody. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to see some science being launched. Yay, science. And also to see this relatively new booster launch as well. Kind of cool.
Yeah, only going to be its third flight. This is going, a relatively new booster as far as as Falcon 9s are concerned. But
Yeah, I mean-
also, go ahead.
Quick little fun fact, that capsule has been more to space than the booster.
Oh, we're going to talk all about that capsule here in a little bit. But thank you for joining us, Adrian. We do have Dee out in the field, getting a bunch of cameras set up. We also have Max out in the field, trying for something special. And we also have Jay operating the stream. So thank you to Jay for that. But yeah, I don't know, Adrian, do we talk about the capsule first? Do you want to tell us what some of its previous flights have been? If it's flown more than the booster, that's what, more than 3 times? Or 2
Absolutely.
times, I
This will be its fifth flight. This is a C209 with the fifth flight. So far, it has supported exclusively CRS because it's a cargo capsule. It has flown on the 22nd, 24th, 27th, and 30th resupply mission, and it will now go for 32. And the last time it flew is exactly 395 days around. So it had a turnaround time of exactly a year. So there you go. Kind of cool, and it's gonna be an interesting mission to see it fly for the 5th time. I think it's a kind of cool thing to see a capsule flying 5 times, and then the booster being newer and just flying 3 times. And that is actually a mentionable fact, right? Like that's not something that usually happens. This
Right.
booster so far. B1092 fly for the 3rd time, as you said, Jack.
It even
so far
looks like
supported-
relatively clean.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like there's still white on it, right? Like it's not completely sooty.
Right, we see
So-
Falcon 9 boosters just get progressively more sooty throughout their lifetimes, and it is a little bit amusing to see, like you said, a little bit of white on there.
Yeah, it's relatively new. You can see a progress over time.
It's not just about launch today, though, right? We got a little extra special treat with today's launch.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this booster will today land on Landing Zone 1. It's an RTLS, a return to launch site. And also, fun fact: this is the 2nd time this booster will actually go for that. Because this one has already RTLS once on NROL 69. So this booster will have 2/3 of its landing after today being performed on landing zone 1.
Wow. Pretty unique.
It's an RTLS specialist, you could say.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, also, I forgot to mention at the top of the stream, if you have any questions, just type them in chat and type at NASA Spaceflight, and we'll see it pop up in some software we have running in the background. Ooh, we got a nice shot of the KSC clock there. Heck yeah. You can see, Adrian, the venting that we're seeing there on the left-hand side, that's not coming from Falcon 9 right now. That's coming from the Strongback, right?
That's correct. That's a venting we usually see around this time. That's something, to be fair, today we have a bit more of close-up cameras, thanks to the fact that this is a NASA launch, and that means we get some additional cameras, and that's why we can observe this relatively close, as you can see here, as we rotate through these amazing cameras. So if you're decided to be awake at this morning, you will be treated with some extra special cameras.
More cameras, more better. That's what I always say. Yes.
Yes.
Also, do want to thank people who are supporting the stream. So, ODST Moody, thanks for becoming a Red Team member. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but thank you for gifting 5 Red Team memberships. iBlue, thank you for gifting a Red Team membership. And also, thank you for saying hello there with a super. We appreciate all the support. It doesn't have to be a monetary thing, though. Like, just tell your friends about us. You know, if you don't want to support us monetarily, you can always just tell your friends and family. Anyone you think might be interested in rockets. Oh, look, Adrian, what do you see there? You see that? On the left-hand side?
You mean
On
the Rainbird?
bottom? Yeah, the Rainbird's doing a little spray in there. Nice.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's not to be worried. That's not like unexpected. It's happening from time to time, and that's nothing to be worried about. These rainbows will fire up way more shortly before launch.
Right, something to look out for as the countdown gets really close to 0. We have one from Isabel Inc. Asking for the folks around the launch site, how far away can they hear the RTLS sonic boom? I don't actually know what the radius would be. Like, can you hear it in Orlando? I've certainly heard it either from the press site or from, say, Cocoa Beach or like Jetty Park in that area. So tens of miles, somewhere in there.
I don't want to answer for our field team, but I think they have also said in the past that heavily depends on wind, humidity, stuff like that, because that can change sound so much and the transfer of sound. So I feel like that's also a heavy factor. I think in general, Jack, the experience sometimes we have is that fog, so for example, helps actually to transfer sound a bit better. It's kind of weird, but it's a thing.
Yeah, I've definitely had, that experience with a launch where it doesn't seem like it should be in any way out of the ordinary or different than any other launch, and yet, for some reason the sound is increased, whether there's an inversion layer or some fog that helps the sound transmit a little bit better or what have you. I do think weather is it's highly dependent on the weather.
Yep.
Here's a question for Alex, which I'm just going to say out loud because I know Alex is around. Richard is asking how many RTLS landings have been done total, just counting Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy boosters. There we go. I'm going to just throw that into the air because if Alex wants to be around and poke fun in the back channel, then he can answer a question for our members. He says it's going to take a couple minutes. Whoa! Can you do that?
It was Alex.
Are you allowed to do that?
I think he is. You kind of called him out like 10 times there. I think at that point you're allowed to unmute and talk for a moment. Yeah, I think. So Alex is saying it's going to take him a couple of minutes.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that one. In the meantime, Johnny, thank you for the super chat. And no comment there, but thank you so much. And Bideford, as always, Bideford, Good to see your name pop up. Thanks for gifting the 5 Red Team memberships. If you have no idea what we're talking about when we say Red Team memberships, we have a membership program. It's right there on YouTube. You can check it out. You get all kinds of sweet perks. And maybe if you're active in chat, your name will turn green because someone just gifted you a membership, like Bideford. Thank you, Bideford.
You know, you like that T clock at the top left, right, Jack?
I do like that clock. Oh no. What?
Wouldn't it be great if that clock is even more accurate? Like,
That would be great.
imagine like for example, the ISS might feel that way. Maybe they want their clocks to be more accurate, right?
You know, accurate clocks seems like a really useful thing for, I don't know, all of society and civilization. I want a really accurate clock. I want to know my clock is right.
Oh, I have the perfect payload for you here, because launching on this mission from the European Space Agency.
Did we somehow turn into an infomercial for this payload?
If you order your atomic clock now,
Jay, can you make it go black and white? Has your clock ever been wrong? Has this ever happened to you? Sorry, continue, please. This is really dead.
This is Billy May with So the atomic clock assembly in space, the ACE, will be launched on this mission, and it's basically a concept of a new next generation atomic clock that can operate in microgravity, and basically will help scientists understand measurement studies and might even assist apparently the search for dark matter and fundamental physics research. Because all of these experiments rely on very high accurate atomic clocks, because they need to be very, very accurate measurements. So testing this kind of measurement technology will enable future science in space. So yeah, this is launching on today's mission. I think it's a really, really neat payload. Who doesn't love atomic clocks?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of really neat payloads on this mission, of which one of them is this. And you know, a lot of times people say things like, oh, why are we spending money on space? Or what's the point? Or they don't understand the benefits we get on the ground as everyday humans directly from the science that's done on these missions. So really neat. If only we had someone that knew a lot about physics that, maybe
I would ask them, like, how does an atomic clock actually work? Or like is it just frequencies between atoms or something? Okay.
Yeah, if only maybe if they had physics in their name, that would be a good person to ask about this.
Do we put Alex on the spot too much today?
I can do whatever I want. He piped up. He started it. Well, I guess technically I started it.
Yeah,
we should talk more about some of the other science missions, payloads on this mission, though. There are some interesting ones. Do you have a favorite, Adrian, or was that it?
Yes, I actually have. There's some pharmaceutical, nanostructures that will launch on this. They are basically using
some pharmaceutical nanostructures?
Yeah, they're using a certain assembly line of protein crystallization. Basically, what they want to do is help certain drug production, especially drug delivery systems. So basically help to improve that kind of structure for medication. And that is also being tested on today's flight. And there's even more medicine on this, because there's a DNA replica. We talked about this before, Jack, and tried to wrap our head around this. But basically they somehow use it like a DNA-inspired structure that they want to test on this mission that will help for more compatible drugs, because they are similar to human tissue. So kind of really neat.
That one's really interesting. Are they using the DNA-like structures to deliver drugs to humans, or are they using the DNA-like structures as something to test, so they don't have to use actual DNA to do the tests on? Either way, fascinating.
I will read you out here that their goal is to biomimemic fabrication of multifunctional DNA-inspired nanomaterials in space to develop materials that are less toxic, more stable, and more biocompatible than current drug delivery technologies, and could be used to deliver therapeutics, vaccines, and regenerative medicine.
Nice.
So that's good.
So, yeah,
I
super
don't know
cool.
why I have so many troubles today with long words. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
My
We
words are
forgive you.
complicated. Thank
I
you.
mean, you did fine. It's fine. Let's see. 45 minutes to go. We are things are starting to, click into place. You can see the TE has stopped venting. Where are we kind of at in the timeline, Adrian?
We are about 5 minutes away from the poll be conducted about going for it. And then, of course, SpaceX will also start their internal auto sequence and poll, which will then start and commence in fueling in about 10 minutes from now, where the first stage RP1, the first stage locks, and the second stage RP1 load will begin. And from there on out, Falcon 9 will do honestly what it does on every other mission. That's the neat thing about it. Like, for Falcon 9 itself, it doesn't matter if there's a Starlink on top or if there's a Dragon on top. It will just do its thing. And that is what SpaceX is so experienced at this point about, and what it can do so well. So yeah, that is what we expect here today. And there you can see the timeline on the left also ticking down to all the milestones we will experience in the next 43 minutes and 50 seconds.
Excellent. I'm excited. This is going to be a good one. So I'm looking at chat's questions here. As a reminder, you can ask questions in chat, so please feel free. I'm looking at chat's questions. We have one here from Nick Timmerman asking, "Good morning, everyone. Did I miss anything?" Yep, it launched. You can turn the stream off. No, I'm kidding. You haven't missed anything. We are hanging out, and the clock is ticking down. Mickey2 1969 is asking, if this is a supply run to the ISS, what supplies, food, etc.? We talked about some of the science going up, but what else is going up?
Yeah, there's also a multitude of new equipment that they will launch. There's some there's, for example, a catalytic reactor that they will launch. There's a food reach tool assembly. There's a reducer cylinder assembly that they will launch.
Okay, wait. I'm
What?
sorry. Pause for a moment. Sorry, you said a food reach tool.
Yeah, and I will read you out what it actually is described here. An
I
L-shaped
read this.
handheld tool that allows crew members to reach packages. Is it a claw?
I think it might just be like a little extendy stick so they can grab
It's
food
like
packages from the microwave. Basically,
Yeah,
is
it's
that what it
it's an
says?
extendy stick.
Read it out. Read it out.
An L-shaped handheld tool that allows crew members to reach packages in the back of the food warmer without having to insert their hands. This tool is launching to replace a unit in orbit. It's a grab stick.
So the thing is they had one, right?
Yeah, they replaced this. This is the
and
next
and
generation.
somebody broke it and was like, "Oh man, now we don't have a food stick anymore." So they're sending up another food stick. All right, please continue.
Yeah.
I had to point that one out.
Yeah, the next generation food stick. Yes. So
food stick
yeah,
block
that's all.
2.
Yeah. Oh god. Then there's a cylinder tank that will provide 15 minutes of oxygen to each crew member in case of an emergency. They are actually launching 2 of these units for in-orbit spares. There's also a thermal expansion device they launch on this. That is a device used to allow for thermal expansion of water within the hydrogen dome while it's being removed and replaced. They will launch this primarily to have a minimum in-orbit spares. And also, next to all of this, they also, of course, launch 1,468 kilograms of crew supplies, which is mostly food.
Nice.
Because humans need food.
I mean, humans do tend to need food to live.
Yeah, humans need food. Adrian Bile, science communicator.
Cool. So a whole bunch of food, a food grabber,
Yes.
some oxygen. What's in the trunk? Because there's pressurized
Oh.
cargo, right? And there's unpressurized cargo. When SpaceX sends up a Dragon like this, there is the trunk attached, and there is stuff in the trunk, which is an unpressurized space. So, do we know what's going up in there?
So the one thing that is in there is the atomic clock, the ISS, that
Right.
is in there, and there is. In earlier mentions, there was a mention of a Space Force payload called STP-H10. NASA and everybody has kind of stopped talking about that because it's a Space Force payload, but we assume it's still there. And Jonathan McDowell here also mentioning that, but that is not the first time the Space Force has launched some more secretive payload on a Dragon mission, because
It's not even.
sometimes-
It's not even a Jay, do we have the second tweet in that chain? It's a thread. The second thing he says is, "I'll note that the payloads are not classified. It's really odd. It carries plasma diagnostics, atmospheric lighting detectors, a weather radar, a neutron detector, a solar flare monitor, a gamma ray astronomy instrument, and a computing experiment. It's a 300 kilogram plus piece of kit, so it's not like a minor piece of cargo." Those are tweets from him.
I feel like it's sometimes these kind of situations where they're like, yes, they tell you what it's technically about, but they still don't want to put a spotlight on it.
Yeah,
If that makes sense,
I
right?
would. Yeah, no, it's like the press conference doesn't want to, or the press release and all of that doesn't want to have the story be anything related to Space Force anything. It's a ISS mission, yay, kind of. That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's and to be fair, it's not that unusual to get information about some of the characteristics of a classified or semi or even semi-classified payload. That happens, but sometimes the exact mission parameters are also what they don't want to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Joel Gribben is asking, will this launch have a sonic boom? Fun fact, all launches have a sonic boom. You just have to be in the right place to hear it. So if a rocket is launching and flying away from you, you're not going to hear it. But this launch is going to feature an RTLS landing of the first stage booster, which will make a sonic boom localized entirely to the Kennedy Space Center area.
Technically, it's like 3 sonic booms, right?
Yeah, triple boom.
Yeah, it's triple boom. It's the engine section, then the legs, and then the grid fins.
Always love
If I'm-
good. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Always love a good triple boom. So yes, we do expect a sonic boom today. Hopefully we get some good audio of it. Speaking of good audio, we're listening in. I'm not sure if we'll have it or not for the call out from the LD, the launch director. So
Did we
stand by
also
maybe for
mention
that.
that Alex got the final RTLS number?
Oh, sorry. I completely blazed right past that. Go for it.
It's 88 RTLS attempts and 87 successful RTLS landings.
There you go.
So there you go. And also another fun fact that Alex provided to us in the back channel that I think is really important to mention. On this mission, there will be flying venting.
All right.
On this mission, there will be flying 1,262 individual tortillas.
That's a lot of tortillas. Yeah, if you don't know, they tend to use tortillas in space rather than bread because it's less crummy.
Yep. So that's a good confirmation, by the way. This is a vent prior to prop load, but they used to basically you will always hear venting before prop load because there usually needs to be space in tanks to put
Right.
stuff in tanks.
Right. Or they're conditioning the TE or what have you.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much. Actually, Falcon 9 is not starting to work at 35 minutes.
Right.
Falcon 9 is in preparation way before that. It's just that is the beginning of the auto sequence.
I wonder if they're corn tortillas or flour or both.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we talked about. Yeah, I don't I have no idea.
I mean, hopefully they're flour. Who likes corn tortillas?
I?
Sorry, I thought I would do small tribalism for fun.
I like. Why would you not use quantity as? Quantity as amazing.
They're good. You have to be. I mean, they're both good depending on what mood you're in, I think.
Yeah,
Here's
like,
a
there's not. That's the most mild tribalism Jack has ever started. It's like you just present an opinion, I take the contrary, and you're like, yeah, you're right. It's kind of both are good. Like, okay,
Let's move on.
yeah.
Johan is asking, any news on Starship Flight 9? Seems like it's a longer wait. Well, if you want to know the answer to that, you should probably tune in to Starbase Update tomorrow. But also, I'll just tell you right now, yeah, no sign of anything until Ship 35 rolls out, and there's no sign of Ship 35 rolling out yet.
Did that day calculation I put in the end made it? Jack?
Yes.
Because then so basically we give a bit of an estimate based on what we saw on previous flights and where they are right now. It's a bit of a like we know how long it took them to get ship 34 ready. We know where ship 35 is right now. So it's a matter of understanding how long that might be. And spoiler, it's probably not before mid-May.
We'll see. SpaceX has surprised us in the past, so I don't know. Luckily, we don't have to wait around for launches because Falcon 9 is still a thing.
True.
Thank goodness. It's
Thank
like
goodness.
it launches so often these days that I mean it's not quite, I don't know if I would say it's commonplace, but it's remarkably often.
It's kind of funny that it's kind of funny, by the way, that we talk about how often it launches, and then we just had like one of the craziest long hiatus of Falcon 9 launches on the East Coast since a long time, because it has not launched for a week.
Yeah,
and that's remarkable, actually.
And that seems like, oh wow, it's so long, but it's really just, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
or any other rocket in the world, completely normal.
Yeah, to be fair, it was because the 39A pad was, of course, prepared for this launch, and apparently pad 40 was prepared for Bandwagon, which will launch later today. So that is just apparently the reason.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Blasting off with Earth and Space Science says, I have a duckweed experiment on this mission. The experiment is from Serrano Intermediate School in Lake Forest, California, and Miss Kane's classroom at Larson Middle School in Troy, Michigan. Neat.
That's so cool.
I can't even imagine how cool it must feel to have something that's going to fly into space.
How cool is it that
fly
we're
into
just
space
like
to do science experiments? How neat.
Yeah, I mean that's all how important is access of multiple capsules and everything. There's frost, by the way, on the rocket at the bottom.
Excellent.
And getting more payloads to space and having more capabilities to launch the ISS also means that, for example, like school experiments can be launched because suddenly you don't have to just like count your food anymore, right? You can also get wiggle room to launch science, and that's amazing. So more cargo, more better.
So neat. Thanks for posting that up.
Yeah, and good luck.
98 Central is asking, does Dragon Capsule have a pressurized trunk variant? That would be cool if they did have a pressurized trunk variant, but they don't.
No.
It reminds me of, on Shuttle, how they had Space
Bingo.
Lab. They could put in the... Did you say bingo?
Yeah, you said Shuttle.
Well, come on. It's a perfect Shuttle reference. It's like they had Space Lab. They could put it in the cargo bay of Shuttle and have extra pressurized space. If there was some kind of like Dragon Lab where they could have pressurized volume in the trunk, that'd be sweet. But no, nothing like that exists right now. But hey, they did the Skywalker fixture for Jared's EVA on Polaris Dawn. They've done the cupola. Who knows if somebody with a bunch of money came to SpaceX and was like, make me a pressurized trunk. I don't know.
And to be fair, it is a bit of a complicated to just make a more pressurized area, because pressurized area always needs to you need to have the equipment to pressurize that area, right? You need to have potentially life support to make sure that area is like pressurized in any shape or form. Like you need anything that pumps gas into her, and it's not that trivial.
Right. Like how would you even get into it?
Yeah.
You'd have to like remove the Dragon from the trunk and then dock to the trunk. I don't know. It'd be
It's like an Apollo style. You
right.
decouple the Dragon, you turn it around, you dock to your trunk.
At that point, it's not even a trunk anymore. Interesting question, though, 9/8 Central. Thank you. Let's see. Aiden is asking, are they allowed any alcohol on the ISS? I do not think so. I think the Russians might have some for like celebrations or ceremonies on their side, if memory serves, but I am by no means an ISS expert. Michael's asking if I am in Florida. No, I'm in Texas. Adrian, where are you?
In Germany.
In Germany.
West Germany, to be exact. It is very bright outside. I'm not used to be awake at this time.
Nice. We do have our East Coast team out in force this morning. I keep wanting to say tonight because I didn't go to sleep. But yeah, we have our East Coast crew out in force this morning. Max is getting in position for something special. Hopefully that works out. And D is setting up multiple tracking cameras as well. And Sawyer and Julia, of course. The whole team out in force. So we mentioned while we were talking that there's frost on the vehicle now. We can see it venting and coming to life, which is really cool. Always exciting as this thing starts to get closer and ready to blast into space. Why frost, Adrian, for our viewers who might not be seasoned rocket veterans?
Absolutely. Falcon 9 uses very cool propellants because they super chill them down, because that actually increases the density of the propellant. So you basically get more propellants into your rocket. That's good, because more propellants means, in the end, more thrust, which means more efficiency in the rocket. So they chill them down very, very cold. And what you literally see there is the outer tank wall that you can see there is also the wall that has contact with the propellants. So these propellants are, as I mentioned, very, very cold, come in contact with that wall, and then they form condensation because it's literally like over minus 100 degrees. So yeah, it's just a very, very cold propellant that will frost up the rocket.
So neat. If you were out there and you are relatively new to the space flight world, or to Falcon 9 or to SpaceX, like if you started watching this sort of stuff during Starship, you may not know that Falcon 9 didn't always use these super, super cold, super chilled propellants. It always used cryogenic propellants, but not super chilled. And in the process of figuring out how to handle super chilled liquid oxygen, they did blow up a rocket, which was not great.
Yeah.
But the point is that it's been a long road for Falcon 9 to get here over many, 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 many years. But they've refined this process of super chilling the liquid oxygen down, and I think they even chill the RP1 a little bit. I mean, it's not cryogenic, but they want to get as much density out of these propellants as they can, because as you said, Adrian, that gives you more efficiency and more thrust. Dare I say more better?
It's always funny to me when people are saying, like, for new rocket companies, they're like, oh, they're scrubbing so much. Why is SpaceX so reliable? SpaceX was very much known to have problems in their countdown in the early days because they also experimented so much. Like there's a very like a bit of a logo where they replaced that space with something else.
Right.
About SpaceX in the early days, because it happens so often, because getting this this propellant condition right and understanding your rocket properly is a process that even SpaceX took some launches for. The only reason why SpaceX is at this point so reliable to launch, and there's rarely issues with Falcon 9, is because they did it like 400 times.
Right. A high launch rate solves a lot of problems. A lot of problems.
Yeah, you have a more experienced team that works with the rocket every single day. Like, look at the launch teams even. A launch team from other companies will walk with the rocket like maybe once a month, even less, in terms
like
of an
once
actual
every
countdown.
6 months.
Yeah, Delta 4 Heavy was notorious to do the thing, and basically it launched once a year,
Right.
and of course, you will encounter ground problems and countdown problems. With the Falcon 9 countdown, that team does the same thing every 3 days.
Which is
Even
remarkable in its own right, but it's remarkable on top of that because of this complex dance of temperatures and pressures that they have to do to get the liquid oxygen at the exact right temperature at the exact right time to have an instantaneous it's just rockets are cool. Oh, is this whose shot is this? Is that for Max?
I think we're still working on that shot, but I think there might be some potential transit being lined up, Jack.
Oh, I am scared. I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to promise anything. But like I said, and I have been saying throughout the stream, Max is getting into position and setting up something special. We'll see if we'll be able to bring that to you guys live. Fingers crossed.
There's also one other thing I want to mention here, because this is something that is very different to Starlink's, and that is the window for today's mission, Jack. Because this vehicle targets the ISS, right? Like they need to get to the ISS at a certain point in time, at a certain speed.
Right.
The window is instantaneous, so that means they launch in either 23 minutes and 25 seconds, or they don't launch at all today. That's the only single window they can make today. And that is one of the very specifics of ISS launches. To be fair, there are some vehicles that are able to adjust a bit in ISS windows.
Right. Like Atlas, for example.
Yeah, I think it's like a few minutes wiggle room, right? Like it's
Right.
it's a bit, but overall, that is very like ISS vehicles being rather tight on the window is kind of normal, because if you think about it, the ISS orbits the Earth about 90 minutes. So if you launch 10 minutes later, the ISS will be far gone.
Yeah, it's like hitting a bullet with a bullet, except it's not even that easy because bullets don't go 17,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, bullets are actually kind of slow versus the ISS.
Right. Child's play.
Yeah, like everybody could hit a bullet. NASA would be like, easy.
Let's see. More questions as we get closer to that T-minus 20-minute vent. I know we're going to keep our eyes on that. I don't know how to say this person's name, but they're asking what's going on with Kuiper. That was like a weird range thing, I think.
That's Wüstenkarpfen.
Sorry, what?
The fish, I think it's carp.
Nice.
And it's desert carp.
Neat. So what is going on with Kuiper, Adrian? We got a date the other day, didn't we?
Yeah. It's a good question. There are apparently some range issues. It's hard to say that. Right now, the mission is targeting the 28th of April, so about a week from now, at the actually good evening time at this point. So let's see if we then see Kuiper launch after some weather issues on the first attempt.
Yes, I think somebody asked Tori on Twitter. It was like, what's going on? And he's like, ask the range. So yeah, Rocket seems fine. They're just waiting on a slot.
I feel like also that's a bit of a for Tori. Like Tori's a very polite person, right? And that was a bit of a ask the range is very like, even he seems a bit about it.
Yeah, it was a
Maybe
little bit pointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it for Tori that feels almost like a head throw.
Yeah, I do not disagree. Let's see. Jim Walker with a completely. Oh, hey, look, it's the 20-minute vent.
Woohoo! There it is.
Adrian, what's going on with this vent, and why does it always make us so dang happy?
Because it shows that the Falcon 9 countdown is on time. And also there's a very important event that is happening right now, which is the wrapping up of Stage 2 RP1 load. And since they are basically, it's kind of like a T-flip of getting ready to Stage 2 liquid oxygen load. So basically they finished RP1, and they now prepared to load liquid oxygen into the second stage, and the purge and preparation of that TE and then like that readiness, that is what we see here in the T-minus 20-minute vent. So yeah.
Right, we talked about the super chilled propellants, specifically that liquid oxygen. You don't want to flow super cold liquid oxygen through warm ground support equipment and plumbing and everything, so you chill it down first. Probably with liquid nitrogen or just gaseous oxygen. I assume liquid nitrogen. And when everything's nice and... Whoop, who was that?
Huh?
Is that you?
Who?
Sorry, I think your voice came through robotic for me for a second, and I thought it was Max, but Max isn't in chat. I'm just losing my mind apparently.
Oh yeah, that happens. Yeah, it's also thanks to the small nature of tanks, of like the size of tanks from the second stage versus the first stage, right? They don't have to load the second stage simultaneously, because I mean, look at how much of the rocket is first stage versus second stage. Like, it's basically nothing. So they can load them like RP1 first and then log second.
Right.
So there you go.
like
Falcon 9 looks beautiful.
It really does, and doesn't seem like there's much wind tonight at all, which is excellent as well, because hopefully we'll get some really sweet and beautiful camera views like this one. Holy super zoom, Batman!
Holy super zoom, Batman!
It's coming. We're coming up on 3 a.m. Central Time, 4 a.m. Eastern. I think this is one of the cameras that D has rolled out and set up, if I'm not mistaken. Excellent. Thank you to D for doing that, and thank you also to Max for being out in the field as well, going for a home run. You got to swing big. You got to swing for the fences. Pezzo D Petra, thank you for the support. We get some fiber feeds from NASA as like part of our, I don't even know what you would call that, part of our arrangement with them at the press site. So it's Richard Bergen again. Thank you for the support. They say thanks for counting all those RTLS landings. No worries, man. Thanks for being patient. Bacon Warrior, I say no worries. I didn't have to do anything. I just made Alex do.
I have to point this out quickly because you can see that the liquid oxygen, I think, the venting is so cold that it's barely liquid. You can see it fizzling out a bit below the cloud at the beginning, where it's still cold.
Yeah,
I think that's literally liquid.
It's like cascading and it's like slightly blue. Yeah, that's delightful. That's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. Liquid oxygen.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
Bacon Warrior 750, thanks for the super chat. We really appreciate it. They say, good morning, NSF crew from the Space Coast. Me and my dad drove all the way down for his first launch. Hype is at the max. Awesome. That's really cool. We hope you guys have
No. The max is in the field.
Max is in the field, but the hype is at the max, which is actually the case because I'm hoping that we're going to get a feed from him here shortly, because that would be exceptional. But Bacon Warrior, good luck to you and your dad. I hope you get a great viewing tonight. Hopefully you can stick around for Bandwagon too, because that's an RTLS, I think, as well, right, Adrian?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it's a bit of a RTLS day. Landing Zone
Right?
2 will be The question is, will they get Falcon 9 off the landing zone 1 before the bandwagon launch happens, or will we see the booster still present on the pad while bandwagon lands?
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see. One way or the other. Bacon Warrior, thanks for the support, and enjoy. Hype train is sailing. Doot doot. Bideford, thank you again, Bideford, with a $25 super. They say, good evening, Jack, Adrian, and Alex. More test, more success. Thank you so much,
Kind
Bideford.
of crazy, by the way. We right now have 6 rocket launches scheduled for the rest of this week.
It's going to be a busy week. We're making up for last time. We're making up for that lull week.
Yeah.
All right, significantly less venting. Do we want to do timeline again?
Oh, we can. At this point, they are starting to load our liquid oxygen into the second stage. And very soon they will also start the engine chill, which they will condition the 9 Merlin engines at the bottom of the first stage. And also the Merlin vacuum engines in the second stage. This engine, not engines. And basically prepare them to not be cryoshocked at ignition. So that is really good. If you don't want to lose your engines, you kind of want to condition them before not cryoshocking them.
Right. What if that was the problem on Starship Flight 8? It was like, oops,
I
that one vacuum engine didn't get cryo conditioned first, and it just got shocked and broken off and cascaded.
I don't think that's a problem because Starship actually uses an engine shell.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being stupid.
Remember the infamous tri-vent that we had and all? That's engine shell.
Oh, that takes me back.
Yep, the whole the old tri-vent that
the tri-vent pulsed.
Yep, exactly. And then it go to a bivent, and now it's like side of the Starship. There you have these line that go down to the booster. That will, yeah. I could talk about this a bit.
Man, that is like a whole area of my brain that I completely forgot existed. Westy the Third in chat says tri-vent was the GOAT vent. It was. It really was.
I will never forget thousands of nerds screaming tri-vent at the same moment when it happened.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, it's something from the early Starship testing days. If you really want to, you could probably go back on our channel and look at the early streams. Oh man, tri-vent used to be an indicator in the same way that the T-minus 20-minute vent is an indicator for Falcon 9. Except instead of 20 minutes, it was what, like 14 seconds or something?
No. Tri-vent was 12 minutes 57 seconds. The pulsing was 20 seconds.
Yeah, it would pulse. Like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Good times.
I hate that these times are still in my brain. It's like there's probably some good childhood memories that I forgot because I have these times in my head. But hey, go it.
Hey, I don't have the childhood memories or that, so I'm glad you at least have that, so I can remember it by proxy.
Nice.
Keep the questions coming, folks. We are 12 minutes and change counting down here towards the launch of CRS-32, sending like 6,700 kilograms of supplies and science to the ISS. The booster's 1092-3. It'll be its third flight. That's why it looks so clean. But yeah, let's do some more questions. Oh, yes! Bacon Warrior says, yes, we will be around for bandwagon launch. I told him we get 2 for 1. Lol. Dude, seriously, this is like the perfect possible like time or place to set up a rocket excursion. Because if you go, you see one rocket launch, that's great. You see a rocket launch that has an RTLS, that's awesome because it's not just a rocket going away from you. You, of course, also get the landing. You get 2 rocket launches? That's even better. 2 rocket launches, 2 RTLSs? Buddy,
yeah.
I hope you and your dad have fun.
2 RTLSs. The only thing you need to do is losing a center core, and you basically have a full Falcon Heavy there in a single day.
And some extra second stages, don't worry about it. Also a Dragon capsule. I do wish they would put a Dragon capsule on Falcon Heavy someday and just chuck it as far as they can.
Yeah, like I still am a fan of the idea of making a like high speed yeet mission. I want to see like I don't know, like a starship with a giant kick stage and then like an iron stage or something.
Right.
Let's see how fast we can really go.
Like I know, like I know my brain is poisoned by Kerbal Space Program, but for real, like let's get a Star 48 on a starship. Like let's see what the meaning of speed truly is. That would
Let's wave by like Voyager. Like
like see ya. Oh man.
I
Well,
also miss Falcon Heavy, by the way.
we have a question about that here in a minute. But I'm just still kind of hung up on discovering the true meaning of speed. Speaking of discovering the true meaning of things, if you want to discover the true meaning of style, look what I
Wow.
did there. Look at that. You can head on over to our merch shop and check out our human spaceflight collection. Adrian, as our merch shop aficionado, runner, I don't even know what to call you. Tell us about this collection because it's relatively new and I love it. And how did it even happen?
I mean, there was Human Spaceflight Day the other day, and we just had like a thinking about it, and our designer Jack made this 2 amazing designs. Yes, we have orange shirts now again, and
It's orange.
Wanted to celebrate human spaceflight because honestly, we talk a lot about human spaceflight, and we didn't have a design for it that is like fitting for it, and so we now have it. And the cool thing is, we are also doing something for the very first time here, which is like non-photographic posters, which I think is a very neat thing. If you go to there on the right side, that's like a art from Jack, and that's also available now, which is like a kind of neat thing. I kind of want to do more of these. Like I think having a bit of a poster collection of historic spaceflight events and stuff like that would be really cool. So
That would be really cool.
yeah, it's available at shop.nasaspaceflight.com. And I can also not unsee right now that we, of course, see Jay Keegan's view here. So we see the curly L's.
No, I didn't even notice that, but yeah, good eye. Oh man,
So, yeah.
now I want a whole bunch of like Starship or rocket related like motivational posters. You know, like a photo of Starship SN10 blowing up, and it's just like, try again, you can do it, or something.
Yeah, I think we should do these.
Let's talk. Oh, I see a moon.
Oh, that's moon.
And the crowd softly chants, "Moon, moon, moon." This
looks so beautiful.
is what Max has been working on so diligently in the background. Thank you, Max, for rolling out and setting up this shot. If you can't already tell, if the 2 images on screen don't betray the plan here, that rocket, hopefully, will fly in front of that moon, courtesy of Max. So that will be hopefully really, really cool. You have to be in the exact right spot at the exact right time, and you have to move depending on where the rocket is. And it's an extremely, extremely challenging shot to pull off. So no promises, but I know Max will be doing his very best to make it work. So thank you to him for doing that. That's really neat. Really neat. In the meantime, we're like 7 minutes to go. Where did the time go, Adrian?
Sorry. I don't know. Sorry, it's very good commentary for me right there.
You're good. I mean, I also, to be fair, don't know. Yes, Johan, a moonshot. We're trying for a moonshot, specifically Max is. So hopefully it works out. 6 minutes and change to go. Universal Measuring Stick is asking, they haven't seen or heard from Trevor in a long time. Is he still with NSF? No, Trevor moved on to bigger and brighter pastures. And we love him and wish him nothing but happiness. Let's see. Big Chungus wants to know what kind of hot sauce they're sending up. I don't know if we know that. Do we know specifically what hot sauce they're sending?
No, but I hope it's a good. Honestly, though, I will not go into details of this, but I would not consume like very spicy hot sauces in space.
Yeah.
That's
Probably,
you know,
that's probably a wise decision. Let's move on. Michael is asking, if I can see the launch from Clearwater, can I see the booster return? Ooh, that's tough because the Earth is curved. I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, it's worth looking. And if you see launch, then you'll know roughly where to be looking for the booster. You might see the start of the landing burn, but not the end. Hard to say. Let us know, though. Like, tweet at me or DM me or something. I'm curious because I grew up right next to Clearwater. I probably still have some towels from various hotels from that. Anyways,
Huh?
hey, look, it's a rocket.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be a really beautiful launch. Not a lot of wind. I'm not seeing any clouds, really. Hopefully we get that lunar transit from Max, and it's an RTLS. Please, rocket gods, let tonight work out. Johnny's asking if it's happened before that a booster is waiting on the landing zone while another booster lands. So if this booster lands tonight and then bandwagon happens and it goes to land next to it, is it the first time that's happened? I should have asked this when Alex was still around.
Wasn't there like another case where that exactly was the case?
I feel like it has happened before, but I don't actually remember. Well, let me do some digging here. In the meantime, 4 minutes to go. I love to see a rocket completely frosty and condensated and just covered in gaseous. I mean, whatever. I guess it's just condensation. Absolutely beautiful. See a little bit of venting there coming up from the top of the TE. It's absolutely beautiful.
Look at that camera. That camera is always so good during liftoff.
I know, right?
It's just like this cool passing shot.
Hopefully we have views from this as they open up that little claw there. There we go. Yes, please. And you can see the TE is starting to lean back. That's exactly what I was hoping we'd get to see. So the TE will do a little bit of a lean back now, and then at liftoff, it'll throw back further to get out of the way of the exhaust plume. So one of those things you can like watch out for. Also, the crew access arm will kind of like dodge out of the way a little bit. Westy the Third in chat says the hype she builds. It's true. I'm hyped.
Yeah,
3 minutes to go.
I always love I feel like the Falcon 9 countdown is very cinematic. It's like building up more and more. So it's always cool to get to this very business end now of the countdown, where I always love that there's also a bit of a pause now. It's like it's like an event, and then it's a bit of a pause.
Yeah, we get to about here at 2 minutes or so to go, and there's going to be another big vent, just like that T-minus 20-minute vent. But this time, it's closing out of the fuel lines so that there's no residual propellants in there that can catch fire as the rocket ascends past the TE and lifts off and goes into space.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Excellent. So basically, from this moment, as they close everything out, the rocket is ready to go. And for this next minute, you're right. It feels like, I mean, it probably isn't actually in real life, but it feels like a pause, right, where we get to take a breath and then realize this skyscraper is about to launch into space and send this capsule hurtling at 17,000 miles an hour to catch up with the space station and deliver a whole bunch of food and other goodies and science to the space station. So neat. There's that big vent indicating they are closing out the prop lines. Stage 2 LOX load complete.
And to be fair, what the rocket also does is pressurize at this point. When we say ready, we mean ready as in the everything in propellant is there, but there's a certain operation temperature and pressure that Merlin needs, and these final seconds are also to reach that point.
Yeah, I mean, you need even for structural stability. It needs to the vehicle needs to be at certain pressures. Like if you think about a soda can, an empty soda can you can crush by standing on it. A full soda can you can stand on, and it won't be crushed. It's all about the pressures inside the tanks. It's very important that everything is exactly as it should be. With 50 seconds to go at this point, Falcon 9 is on internal power and is controlling itself, right, Adrian?
Yeah, at this point, the Falcon 9 onboard computer has fully taken over, and it's just conducting the final few steps. Humans at this point only have intermission power. Basically, they can take over if they need to.
Right. Otherwise, it's going to be the rocket itself saying, "Whoa, I'm not ready to go," but hopefully here we are.
Go for launch was given.
Seconds. There we go. It is. There it is. Go for launch. 10 seconds to go. Watch for the rainbirds firing up and ignition there at the base of the vehicle. There they go. Watch for the flash of green. There it is. Ignition. And liftoff. See a little plume forming there as the vehicle accelerates and passes through the speed of sound. Sorry, max Q. It's already going well past the speed of sound. Absolutely beautiful views from the team. I'm wondering how Max's transit worked out. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that.
I can confirm you should wait for replays.
Oh, buddy.
I can confirm you should wait for replays.
We're not even at stage SEP yet. Let's keep our hats on. Let's get this second stage separated from the first stage. Get the first stage back on the ground, and then we can start to think about replays. But that makes me a happy person to hear. Beautiful blue in the plume there as it ascends into the vacuum of space and the thinner atmosphere. You can even see, look at the definition on the center engine. That's wild. There is Miko. And second engine start, you can see the first stage, meanwhile, doing its thing. Bingo. Boost back.
Oh, that boost back looks beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Never gets old.
These plumes are acting.
Yeah, so that's the exhaust plume of two different rockets interacting in a near vacuum. That's what that looks like. It's just surreal. Wow, look at that. That is just gorgeous. That's very close to what you would see with your eyes.
This is insane. Like, it's also so crazy how different the plumes are.
Right? Yeah, as the second stage continues and it like expands into its weird ethereal jellyfish. Meanwhile, the first stage, it's almost like it kind of peters out as it gets further away from the second stage and doesn't have something to react with.
And we are still in for a treat here, everybody, because there is a return to launch site landing coming up.
Yeah, I keep reminding myself as I look at the timeline there at the bottom to make sure I don't talk over the sonic booms, which is always a challenge. I'll do my best. You can see the second stage engine there, Merlin vacuum, very large niobium nozzle that gets glowing red hot to radiate some of that heat there.
And very beautiful, very large nozzle. Yes.
Yes, the good nozzle. It's not the
Yeah,
stubby nozzle.
Yeah, the good one,
Yes.
proven one. Yeah.
Still tracking stage 2 on our cameras. Very cool.
Is that a D track?
This might be D. This might be... I thought I saw Dr. WD-40 in chat earlier.
Oh, that might also be.
Might be Max. I'm not sure. This is D. Okay.
It's getting less and less pronounced now. It's so beautiful. I love when like the Falcon 9 is fully in the dark because the only light source is the reflection of the Merlin nozzle, and you can see that orange on the stage.
It's orange.
It's orange.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. It reminds me of like the old sodium vapor streetlights that still exist. Most places they were like replacing them with LED, like blue lights that go purple when they get old. It's terrible. But yeah, that really nice orange lighting you get from that nozzle. Just gorgeous.
Quickly want to mention there's 2 different landing entry burns they could go for here. We will see what exactly, but if they don't see the 3 engine, that's not a moment of panic because there's a 1 engine and a 131 entry burn profile, and depending on which profile they go for, they might see one or the other. So
Like the rocket
we'll
will
see.
just pick on its way in.
No, it's a pre-selected thing, but we just don't know which one it might be.
Got it. Coming up on that
there's-
entry burn here momentarily.
Yeah, they debuted a new profile at some point.
Just gorgeous. You can see the velocity on the bottom right-hand side of the second stage just piling on. Meanwhile, check out what's happening with the first stage. It is also coming in hot, but that's going to stop here in a second, at least briefly, as the booster shrouds itself in fire to protect itself from the heat of re-entry. That's why we call it the entry burn. It's fighting fire with fire. How cool is that?
There's the engine.
Yeah.
Single engine.
Nice. We got it on our cameras.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful. That shutdown. Absolutely beautiful. It looked single engine to me, but I'm not sure.
I didn't see a second flash, but they could always be. Alex is typing.
It could have
It
happened.
was single engine.
Hey, nice. Check out the plasma and the grid fins. Look at the plasma and the grid fins. That's gorgeous. Never
The
gets
plasma
old.
at the grid fence.
Yes. I use TweetDeck.
Oh, bit of wobble there. It's always that wobble scares me.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just a little
I
windy.
know.
It's just a little windy. It's fine.
It's a like 50-meter tall rocket booster that just
Right.
wobbles.
Hey,
while re-entering.
that's why we always talk so much about wind shear, right? I mean, you need to know
Sonic
that.
booming.
Oh, let's listen. Nice. Was that it?
Hell yeah.
Nice. We didn't talk over the sonic boom. We get a point.
That was cool.
Did the VAB squeal?
Yeah, I think the VAB squealed in the sonic boom. It was pew pew and then whee.
Amazing. Fantastic.
Why did I have to replicate that sound?
I was going to ask you to do it again, but I figured I'd let you just do it the once.
Enjoy putting that on your soundboard.
There we go. Second stage about done. There it is. I always love that wobble of the nozzle at shutdown.
Yeah, it looks so scary in the first moment.
It reminds me. It reminds me a lot of the wobble on the shuttle's main engines at start up. I know. Shuttle mention again. I'm sorry. I had to.
Bingo.
A little bit of venting and some ice there. Completely normal. See it all the time. Good stuff.
And that nozzle is getting cooler and cooler and cooler.
Good job, nozzle.
Well done.
All right. Hopefully we get some cool shots of Dragon deploy here. And don't forget, we do have replays coming up, including some really cool ones. So stand by for that as well. But really, this Dragon deploy shot is going to be sick. Hopefully, give us a
Sunrise.
I know.
Ah, that looks so cool.
It looks awesome. Oh my god. Please show Dragon. Please. Please, SpaceX. Wow.
Wow.
The lighting change in those few seconds. Remarkable.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Oh, no shots from Dragon. Boo.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah.
What?
They can't.
Because of the Space Force thing?
That's an unpressurized area at the bottom.
So the cameras will be pointed right at that.
Yep, that's why they don't show it.
Oh well.
But am I wrong? Like, I think that's exactly why they don't show it.
No, that would make sense. I don't. It's completely plausible reasoning. But yeah, that orbital sunrise with deploy. Oh gosh, I bet that was gorgeous. Either way, we have some really cool replays coming up that should also be gorgeous. But in the meantime, I do want to thank Nibbles for gifting 5 Red Team memberships. Very generous of you. If you got to get the membership from Nibbles, be sure to thank Nibbles. Also, ODST Moody again with a super chat, saying they filled the cargo compartment with ravioli for this launch. Stop, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm also hungry.
I started to think about it and how I should respond, and I'm just gonna nip that in the bud right there and say thank you for the support.
I was a very unresponsible adult, by the way.
I mean, if you think about it, a dragon is kind of a ravioli.
I didn't go to grocery shopping on Saturday, and I found out that there's apparently a holiday today on Germany. So very good planning by me.
Yeah, remind me. I have a story related to that. Remind me later to tell you.
I will.
Working on those replays, I'm super excited to see them come through.
Yes, there's some. I think Max captured some goodies.
I need to see the goodies. I need to see this moonshot. In the meantime, we'll do some more questions. Germ the cow is asking, maybe I missed it, but do you have mics closer to the pad now? Sometimes we get pad mics, sometimes we don't. So it's not like they're our mics. Sometimes we have access to them, sometimes we don't. Rokwa wants an update on, quote, that sweet SpaceX orbital launch count in 2025.
Hey Alex, can we get an update on that sweet SpaceX orbital launch count?
This was SpaceX's 47th launch of the year, 9th launch of the month, Falcon's 109th launch since its last failure, Falcon 9's 461st orbital flight.
I don't know why you asked me. You literally have all of the facts.
What do you think I'm
already
reading? Of course, now you come in. Of course, not when we want to talk about physics, Alex. Physics. I know. Go away. I'll keep reading off the list that you made. Here, I'll keep reading it. Falcon 9's 109th launch since its last failure. Oh, I read that part. SpaceX's 108th launch from LC-39A, 51st landing on LZ-1 out of 52 attempts. What was the attempt that didn't work? Was that CRS-16?
multi-space.
Alex, are you there?
Yeah, it was CRS-16 with B1050.
It was.
That was the one with a moldy mouse food.
That's right. The origin of moldy space's name.
Yeah.
Nice. And 93rd successful landing by a Falcon 9 booster since the last failed one. 52nd orbital flight of a Dragon spacecraft. Alex, you said this Dragon has carried more cargo to the ISS than any other Dragon. Is that accurate?
Yeah. With this launch, it becomes I guess the cargo Dragon that has launched the most cargo to the ISS.
The heaviest, the cargoiest Dragon.
Yeah, the cargoiest. Yeah, 15,031 kilograms. If you're curious, so over 15 metric tons.
Even more satisfying than getting you to agree with me is getting you to begrudgingly agree with me. That's the best. That's the sweetest candy of all. Good question, though, Rokwa. Thank you for that one. You summoned Alex successfully when I could not, when Adrian could not.
Alex, on what pace are they now for launches this year?
Are you just gonna be doing this to me now? 148 if they keep the current track of cadence and everything.
Check it out, everybody.
Oh my god.
Is a still
Whoa.
from Max Falcon 9 flying next to the moon. How beautiful is that? Absolutely gorgeous. If you do not follow Max on X the Everything app, go check him out and check out this beautiful shot. Tap that load in 4K button. You know the drill.
Tweet
Also,
that shot.
you should probably be following all of us, like on the socials, the NSF account, whatever social media you're on. We're on all of them. Gorgeous shot, Max. There's video. I can't wait to see the video. I want to see the video. Give me the video. I want the video.
I don't think the video's ready yet.
I know, but I need it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's SpongeBob meme, Adrian. I need it.
Oh, the amount. Is SpongeBob one of the series in the world that has produced the most international accepted memes?
I think The Simpsons is probably up there. SpongeBob is definitely up there.
Like SpongeBob or Simpsons, probably top. It's gonna be close. Somebody needs to investigate this, not me though.
So yeah, someone needs to do science on this. It's vital to science.
Yeah, please add Jack and me once you have that science done.
Oh my god.
We need it.
JS Webb says we need that Max shot as a print. Oh, I'm sure if that's possible, we will make it happen.
If only there was a merch person in this chat right now.
Yeah.
Help.
Hello, I'm here.
See, I can do the same. Just saying.
I know.
Hey, let's work together, not against each other. Just give me like 5 minutes and I'll throw Alex under the bus again.
Yeah, I feel like the master incinerator is kind of like throwing that line. It's kind of funny.
Hey, do as I say, not as I do.
It's wonderful. We are bridging time now with having a very eloquent discussion here.
Yeah, very intelligent,
Yeah.
We are working on those replays. They should be quite good. No, they're going to be quite good. So stand by. In the meantime, I'm looking for some more questions from y'all to answer. Keith is asking if the range took an Easter holiday break. It might have been a maintenance break. I don't know if it was I don't think it was specifically an Easter thing.
I don't think so either. That's very on SpaceX.
Joseph is asking, what is the best closest... Well, they're asking about the range, not SpaceX, but yeah. Joseph Siciliano was asking, what is the best / closest place to see the launch from in Florida? Best isn't always closest. Believe it or not, best is not always closest. Those are two different things. If you want to know where to see a launch from, we put out a whole video on it. It's on our channel. Mods, if you happen to have a link for it, please put it in chat. Adrian, what?
I'm just asking you, is Katy Perry an astronaut now, Jack? Sorry.
Did you know?
Is that a thing I experienced, that suddenly people in your near vicinity ask you as the space nerd of like, hey, is Katy Perry an astronaut now? Like that happened to me.
Did you not watch the Flame Trench this week?
I watched it, but I still got questions on Saturday and Sunday about it.
Yeah. I have had friends asking me about the situation. Let's move on.
Yes. This is indeed not the voice of Dan Wager.
I'm not sure if we were supposed to be hearing anything there.
He is going up.
Nose cone confirmed open. Excellent. How terrified would you be if you worked on something critical like the nose cone? Like every
I'm
launch,
so good.
every Dragon, I'd be like, please nose cone, please little nose cone, do your
Yeah,
job.
please open, please
Yeah.
open, please open.
Or please close, please close.
Yeah. I'm already anxious about non-critical items sometimes. I would be like terrified to death if I worked on critical items.
Oh yeah, I'm the guy that locks the front door, like checks the knob and pushes on the door to make sure the lock actually engaged, gets in the car, turns the car on, sits in the car for a second and goes, am I sure that I locked the front door? Then I get out of the car, go back to the front door, and then make sure the front door is absolutely for sure locked. And then I get it.
Now imagine Jack as a SpaceX engineer. Jack's be like, can we like take the rocket one more time horizontal? I really want to check like that nose cone.
Right. Me at remote setup. It's got a memory card, right? Okay, it's got a memory card. It's got a memory card, right? It's got a memory card. And like 2 hours later, I'll be like eating a sandwich or something like, oh God, what if it doesn't have a memory card? But actually what I started doing for that is I'll take pictures of the cameras. Like I'll take closeout pictures of each camera so I know what state I left them in so I can quell the stupid anxiety voice in my head. Anyways, replays, am I right?
What's worse, the waiting for the launch and like thinking if you did everything, or the waiting until you get to the pad and see if your cameras are still fine?
Probably waiting for launch. Waiting to get to the pad isn't so bad because at that point, whatever's happened has happened. Up until launch, I mean, things could happen where it doesn't launch, or the weather conditions mean that you already know you have nothing to be excited for. I don't know. I think the stress for waiting for launch is more than waiting to pick up cameras. Although for Starship Flight 1, that was extremely stressful because we could see concrete flying and we knew that Danger Van had got hit. And so it was like, oh yeah, and that's the only time SpaceX has let us put cameras inside the pad. So we knew there was for sure going to be some carnage. And so yeah, that was a little bit stressful, but
and there was indeed carnage.
Yeah, narrator, there was.
There was carnage.
We had a question like forever ago. Someone asking what happened to the van. The van still exists. The van that got hit by concrete, we call it Danger Van. It exists at one of our properties at the River Lot. So yeah, if you're in Starbase, you will see it, or you can see it as you're driving right before you get to the production site or right after you exit Starbase proper, leaving the production site. If you're leaving, it'll be on your left. If you're headed in, like toward the beach, it'll be on your right. One of those little Easter eggs, Starbase Easter eggs you can look out for. Speaking of looking out for things, holy cannoli, I love that nebula shot, that wider nebula shot, Adrian.
Are you now teasing replays that we will soon show?
That wider nebula shot, though, that was some chef's kiss. That was some good. I'm excited to look at these replays. That shot was pretty nice. That one and the moon one. Yeah. I still haven't seen the moon one. Give me the moon one.
There's some really good replays here. I'm looking forward to see them. I imagine not being able to see them yet. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. DOS Addict asking about cargo in the trunk. It's atomic clocks and a Space Force thing. I'm seriously minimizing there, but Adrian, you want to talk about the clocks and I'll talk about the Space Force thing?
Yeah, it's a very next generation atomic clock that will help to measure experiments even more accurate which apparently is very, very important for experiments to get the timing down to, like, I don't even know nanoseconds is the right thing. It's even closer than that. So yeah, it's the ESA sponsored or like ESA made next generation atomic clock that is in the trunk. That would have been able to film, but the other payload apparently blocked the filming.
As for the Space Force payload, oh god, oh no, I lost the tweet.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm never gonna be able to find it again. I'm a failure. Where is it? Where is it? Jonathan McDowell tweet. There it is. It's the STP-H10 payload. It's about 300 kilograms, and it has plasma diagnostics, atmospheric lighting detectors, weather radar, neutron detector, solar flare monitor, gamma ray astronomy instrument, and a computing experiment. How delightfully vague. A computing experiment.
Yeah, it's like a. So actually it is able to compute.
Jack, did you lay in bed and play mobile games all day? No, no, no. It's a computing experiment.
Wonderful.
Hey, it's replay time. Oh, is this the
Oh.
moonshot? Please? Please?
Oh!
Look at that jelly. That is so gorgeous.
Is it possible to run it again?
Run it again. Look at that.
And wee!
I like how we both decided it needed a sound.
Yeah, we're like, yep, we need the sound.
New.
I love that there's a reflection as well on the other side. Look at the right side.
Yeah, the flare, yeah. New.
Yeah. Haha. That's so cool. That's fleet cam.
Super cool.
There's light.
I know Max was trying to grab it in front of the moon. Like I said, that shot is really tricky to line up, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, and that was still really, really cool. So again, thank you, Max, for doing that. Good old fleet cam.
I love it's just like a giant ball of light.
I mean,
There's a rocket in there.
Launches do turn day into night briefly. Typically, more so launches with solids, but still, Falcon 9s are quite bright at night.
Yeah, I feel like of the liquid propellants, RP1 is one of the more bright ones.
Definitely. Yeah, I would, just like from a photo settings perspective, yes. RP1 be bright.
I heard like Delta for Heavy was always very, very dark with like just hydrogen.
Yeah, what do they have? What does it have? The oh god, RS-25s? RS-68, thank you, RS-68. Yeah, they were like almost like an amber. And oh gosh, I'm gonna miss those engines. The shock cone or the shock diamond or whatever you want to call it off of those, especially because of the ablative nozzle. So gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, everybody will miss Delta for Heavy.
Except for photographers who had to endure
And launch
many back-to-back delays. I'll still miss it. Nice. Pad view replay. This is one of the fiber feeds.
Yep. I love how you can hear like you can see it rumble a bit from the T-tab already.
Right. Triathlon boring.
What?
Triethyl aluminum, triethyl borane.
Thank you.
That's what T-tab is. It's what ignites the engines. It's that
It was just like the moment where the rocket like full blasted with the sound. Like, what?
Perfect. That was perfect.
There we go. Wider angle. The historic 39A.
What a pad. It's going to be so wild when Starship's launching from there.
Wonderful.
Another wider shot showing the turn base in there at the press site. You can see the press site clock and the flag. Sort of give you some
somebody
spatial
asking.
awareness. Go ahead.
I see somebody asking when the next launch is. Later today.
It's also in RTLS, and we're going to be live for that stream, or for that launch as well. My brain is turning to mush. I'm sorry.
Well, not us two, but yes.
Yes.
I will actually think who to put on the tip. Yeah.
I love how, as the rocket ascends, the lighting, like it looks like there's a giant spotlight. That was especially pronounced with New Glenn. Like that giant, crazy blue spotlight effect. But it happens with all rockets. Like, it just really gives you a sense for how light from a certain angle of a certain brightness and color will interact with the environment. Maybe my inner cinematographer is coming out right now, but I do think it's particularly beautiful. Like, look how the lighting, oh, well, look how the lighting changes on the cloud as it ascends. Nice super zoom view. And liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal. Great track from, I think this is a D track, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, this looks absolutely fantastic.
Right. You want to see something cool? Types J in the back channel in all caps, implying that's what I should say. Oh, it's the wide
Oh
angle
my God.
nebula shot. Look at that. It's like a donut. It's or toroidal.
Oh, a bagel? You classify that as bagel?
Really?
Yes.
We're looking at this beautiful imagery, and you're gonna pull the bagel card out.
You said donut first.
It's very different than the bagel. You don't boil a donut.
Aren't you boiling a donut?
No.
I think
What?
you do.
I don't think you do.
I think you do.
I don't think you do. Hey, look, it's a beautiful shot of two rocket plumes interacting in a near vacuum as one comes back to land on Earth and one heads into space to deliver vital supplies and science to an international space station. But no, let's argue about boiling donuts.
I'm sorry, D. I'm very sorry, but you know us too.
Hopefully D will forgive us. Absolutely gorgeous shot though. And I was saying earlier, that is fairly similar to what you would see with your eyes. Like a lot of times, if it's a super telephoto lens for tracking or a really zoomed in shot or what have you, or it's beautiful. It's a useful image and a beautiful image and an image we all want to see. But sometimes having an image that's like more representative of what somebody there on the ground might see is cool too. Oh man, that was a launch.
That was indeed a launch.
When's the last time you and I were commenting on a stream?
Not that long ago, actually, Kuiper.
Oh right. Well, that one was also a good time. So
Yeah, it's like a week ago.
No wonder. Well, thanks for being on, Adrian. You can see Adrian's info pop up on the right side there when Jay pushes the button to do it. I didn't really give him much time.
You didn't give him any lead, honestly.
Like no lead time at all. But there's Adrian's info. Adrian, thank you for being on today's stream and sharing your wisdom with us.
Thanks for having me. I will go back to sleep.
Nice. No, you won't.
I won't probably because other things. Yeah.
You're done with bad screen. Now you're gonna do good screen.
No, this was actually good screen.
Wait, so now you're gonna do bad screen?
Yeah, I'm apparently doing bad screen now. We really need to wrap.
All right. Seriously, thanks for being on. Also, thank you to D for being in the field. Thank you to Max as well for being in the field and swinging for the fences with that lunar transit shot. You can see D's info there. We'll have Max infos there. Also, thank you to Jay for operating the stream, of course, and putting up with everything. Also, we had Dr. WD-40 out. We had Wade out there as well. So thank you to Wade. You can see at Dr. WD40 on Twitter, outdoor educational live streamer, http://drwd40.com. Check him out. Always a treat when we get Wade out in the field as well. Whew. All right, well, there's another launch today, and it's another RTLS, so buckle up, friends. That's going to be a good one as well. I'm Jack Beyer. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Jay, I already said you operated the stream. Jay operated the stream. Thank you, Jay.
And here we go.
We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal.
RS-68 chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, with planet.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside SPD off. Bring in SPD off. Off. It's orange!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Tingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
This methane will be igniting in the flare, correct?